Hi guys, this is a response to DeMarco's video called Hello Community, where he speaks about how the internet wrestling community should sort of come together and put our differences aside for a moment. We can argue about it as a whole later on, but for the time being, sort of get the internet wrestling community a bit more recognition, a bit more subscribers and all that. But he asked two questions in the video, which I'm going to... by the way, I agreed wholeheartedly with his video, and so this is sort of directed towards him, but I'm going to be talking to you, my subscribers, because there's going to be more of you than there is of him. And the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few and all that. So it may seem strange if I seem like I'm talking to one person, but saying guys, and then say guys or something. The two questions were, what makes you want to see a wrestler, what makes you want to see a match, or what makes the match good, and I'll do the wrestler thing first. With the wrestler, to an extent, and aside from work rate, this was, what makes me want to see a wrestler is if they can entertain me, if they exude a certain amount of charisma, which, or not a certain amount, if they exude enough charisma and do enough entertaining things as a character, that it entertains me and makes me laugh, or makes me, think, oh, what a bastard, and things like that. And that's just basically the first level of that's me getting to like the wrestler. What makes me really want to see the wrestler and pay to see the wrestler and enjoy his work more, and I'm not going to bring up work rate, is if I can identify with that character, if I can believe the character to an extent. If I can believe the character that the wrestler is portraying, then I'm going to become, more into the match, which is why I feel, with Chikara, you've got a whole bunch of zany, crazy gimmicks, and that's sort of why I don't really... I like the promotion, and I love the product, but I don't really connect with any of the wrestlers in it. But I still like their work. I still like the wrestlers because they are just... You can't hate the guys. But then you've got a promotion like ROH where it's... there's a lot of guys who are very... Because they're a promotion which is pro wrestling as a sport, you can't really have zany gimmicks. So, they do with a few guys, but not everybody can have that. And so it makes it harder for me to like a lot of guys, but once I do like them, I like them a lot more because I can connect with them and I can believe them a lot more. Guys like, Jimmy Jacobs and Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson. And then you've got a guy like Chris Hero, who I really enjoy the work of just because he's so funny and so crazy, and to an extent I sort of connected with him because he's not too over the top that you can't sort of see a bit of yourself in him, or see a bit of myself in the guy. You people don't know me, don't judge me. But that's one of the biggest parts of it. What makes me want to see a wrestler, once again, aside from work rate also does play a big role in that. But if they don't have the other things, where with me being able to connect to them, then it really doesn't matter. The next question, as I said, was what makes you want to see a match, what makes the match good. What makes me want to see a match is basically a story going into the match, and not a complicated story or anything like that. Just kind of a... And not one they've built up on TV for 3 months, or built up on built up at their shows for months. Just a simple universal story, which could be as simple as like Hogan versus Andre the Giant, Hogan the champion versus someone who was believed as unbeatable, or you've got an underdog versus a guy who's on a winning streak, or the story may be as simple as these two guys are really good, high flyers, and it will be good to see them, like a dream match type of thing. Something that anybody who's a wrestling fan who follows it could just understand it like that as soon as they got in the ring. Or they're both so big names, but they've never had a match before. It'll be good to see how they interact with each other. Like if you were to have a match between, I don't know, the top guy from two different promotions like Sting and Undertaker. While the match wouldn't be the best, it would just be, and you wouldn't need to really build up the story for it because it would just be a dream match sort of storyline. And you've got Undertaker, who, I'm going to explain this before, it would just be the way they would interact in the match and see how it would go, which really captivates you, or what makes you want to watch it. You don't, because with me, I don't really enjoy seeing long, convoluted storylines where lots of stuff happen. It's a lot easier for me to just enjoy enjoy a simple story or one that I can just, it's just there. So I don't have to, like, if I'm going to watch the match in the future, I don't have to go back and think about what happened, which made The Rock hate Stone Cold Steve Austin, or vice versa, or, things like that. Those things are important in the short term, but in the long term, they don't really do anything for me, because I watch a lot of older wrestling. Then it's important that there's just a simple story there that I can remember. And what makes a match good is the story that's actually being told in the ring. Well, there are a few driving forces, and it would be like, what's the story being told in the ring, or the ring psychology, like so-and-so's got a weak leg and he's kicking him and working it over and blah 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 blah, and the actual work rate, and they're two separate things. I can enjoy a match with no psychology for the high flying spots or the amazing technical wrestling and things like that, or I can enjoy a match with none of that, which has a simple psychology. When I feel the WWE is a promotion where it has an emphasis on psychology, and that really works for me. And then there's a promotion like who would I say? Well, take a Briscoes match. The psychology is often questionable, but the match, what they're doing in the ring is so amazing that it's hard to dislike it. But of course, one of my criticisms of their matches is that the match hits a peak and then keeps going, and that sort of ruins it for me. If they had stronger ring psychology, I think, or if there was a stronger ring psychology to the match, then they would be able to hit that peak and finish the match there, and it would be a great match. And it's something they get criticised a lot for. I'm bringing up ROH a lot, but and even in death matches, it's like in a death match, like in a promotion like CSW with the Tournament of Death, they don't really have a high work rate or something in a death match. So it would be, what weapons can they use on each other, or how extreme is it going to get? But they're also, without that psychology, it really makes it hard for me to enjoy the match to the fullest extent. And to get and DeMarco said, what makes a match a 5-star match? I'm not trying to impersonate him there, but what makes a match a 5-star match? And I think it would be an extremely well executed performance on both parts, with both the psychology and the work rate, or what happens in the ring and the moves they do and all that kind of thing. I don't know if work rate would be the right word for that. But if it, and I'm trying to think of a match which would suit that, with psychology and the type of action, and also the crowd interaction also puts it over the top. But there always has to be those two things done perfectly, and something that puts it over the top. And one of those things, like Joe vs. Kobashi, they didn't do anything amazing, but it was really good what they did do, because the match was trying to replicate a real match. But the match had psychology, because it was a real match, and they were just trying to beat the crap out of each other, and the crowd was into it. Was it a 5-star match? I don't know. It's up for dispute with me. A better example would be Kobashi versus Misfit from 2003. That match had strong psychology, had a story behind it, had a story in the ring, which was psychology. They did amazing things for guys their age, and the crowd was nuts for it, and that made it a 5-star match in my opinion, and a match that I really enjoy to see. It has to have a good combination of a whole bunch of factors to make it, but I can enjoy a match for just one of those things alone if it's done well. Like a giant versus a giant match, even though the match, like Khali versus Big Show, may be terrible in the ring and have no psychology or anything like that, but just the fact that it's two big guys going at it would be enough for me to enjoy it to an extent. Not enjoy it if it had that and a bit of all the other things, but yeah, it still makes me enjoy it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll try to come back with some more what ifs, guys, because I've got to answer them. Anyway, thanks for your time. Bye.